今日もお付き合いいただきありがとうございます。今日の主なニュースを英語でお送りします。
An earthquake of magnitude 5 strong struck Nagano Prefecture. The Japan Meteorological Agency warns that strong tremors could continue for about 1 week. They also stated that an active fault zone exists near the epicenter. If a larger earthquake occurs, it could reach magnitude 6 strong or higher. Residents are advised to remain cautious.
The body of an 11-year-old boy, Yuki Adachi, missing from Kyoto's Nantan, was found. Investigators confirmed his last survival was after breakfast on March 23rd, the day he went missing. Police believe he was involved in an incident after leaving home. His 37-year-old father, arrested for abandoning the body, is now undergoing full interrogation.
Crude oil prices sharply dropped after Iran announced on the 17th that it would fully open the Strait of Hormuz for commercial vessels. This move comes during a ceasefire period between Iran, the United States, and Israel. The declaration led to a significant market reaction, causing oil prices to plummet.
President Trump announced on the 17th that his administration's investigation into UFO-related materials has uncovered many interesting documents. He stated that the first batch of these records is expected to be released soon. This highly anticipated disclosure follows widespread public interest in unidentified aerial phenomena.
Measles infections are spreading, with over 230 cases reported by early April. Specifically, 236 patients have been confirmed, surpassing last year's total, 265, at a faster pace since the COVID-19 pandemic. Half of those infected are in their teens and 20s. The Japan Pediatric Society urges vaccination.
Japan and Australia signed a contract on the 18th for new frigates, valued at over 1 trillion yen. This marks Japan's most significant defense equipment export since 2014. The agreement, aiming for 11 vessels with deliveries starting in 2029, strengthens security cooperation beyond the Japan-US alliance, with China's rise in mind.
President Trump's administration announced on the 17th a 1-month extension of sanctions relief for Russian crude oil and petroleum products. This aims to address rising global energy prices. The Treasury Department permits purchases of oil loaded onto ships by May 16th, extending a measure that expired on April 11th.
The Tokyo High Court ordered the Unification Church's dissolution in March, following years of issues like high donations and spiritual sales. Religious sociologist Yoshihide Sakurai, who studied the group for 40 years, points to inaction by authorities and investigative bodies. He emphasizes the need to change a society that avoids responsibility for such problems.
President Trump said on the 17th, there was pretty good news regarding Iran, expressing optimism for peace talks to end the war. While not giving details, he warned the ceasefire might not be extended if no agreement is reached by next week's deadline. Earlier, Iran's foreign minister announced the opening of the Strait of Hormuz.
5 train lines, including the Kihin-Tohoku line, were temporarily suspended for about an hour on the 18th due to a man on the tracks. This incident between Higashi-Jujo and Akabane stations affected around 52,000 commuters. Police reported the man fled while being questioned by station staff about a dispute with a woman on the train.
次は社会のニュースです。
An earthquake with a maximum intensity of 5 strong struck Nagano. The Japan Meteorological Agency warned of strong aftershocks for about 1 week. An active fault zone is near the epicenter. If a large quake occurs there, it could reach intensity 6 strong or higher. Residents are advised to be cautious.
The Hokuriku Shinkansen temporarily suspended services between Itoigawa and Karuizawa stations. This was due to the earthquake in Nagano Prefecture. JR East announced the suspension started after 2:50 p.m. However, operations quickly resumed at 3:03 p.m., reducing travel delays for passengers.
In Kyoto, police conducted an on-site investigation at a toilet located between the home and elementary school of a boy found abandoned. The 37-year-old father was arrested for allegedly abandoning his son's body in a forest. Police are checking for any connection to the body's abandonment and the boy's death.
In the Kyoto boy's body abandonment case, parts of the arrested father's car dashcam footage are missing. Police suspect Yuki Adachi, 37, deleted records to hide routes to the abandonment site. Yuki, 11, was last seen March 23. The father's claims about dropping the boy off lack full video evidence.
Japan's compulsory automobile liability insurance, KLI, will likely increase by 6% in fiscal year 2026. The Financial Services Agency announced this would be the first rate hike in about 13 years since April 2013. The increase is due to rising personnel and medical costs.
The LDP and Nippon Ishin no Kai held discussions on amending Article 9 of the Constitution. They aim to align their differing views. Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae expressed her desire to finalize an amendment proposal by next year's party convention, prompting both parties to accelerate their efforts.
Elementary school arithmetic may change its name. A council is discussing unifying math subject names across all school levels. Options include keeping arithmetic or changing to mathematics. The main focus is a shift to mathematics, aligning with junior and high schools. This would be the first such change since 1941.
The Tokyo High Court ordered the Unification Church's dissolution. Religious sociologist Yoshihide Sakurai criticizes inaction by authorities and society regarding the group's long-standing issues. He notes that despite known problems, followers' human rights were unprotected. Politicians used the group for elections, and media remained largely silent.
Voluntary single mothers are women who choose to have and raise children without marrying. This concept, coined by an American psychotherapist in the 1980s, typically describes economically and emotionally independent women. The news poses a question: is this choice an act of parental ego or personal freedom?
Atsuo Seki, 69, was arrested in Hiroshima for allegedly defrauding a woman of 13 million yen in a stock scam. Seki denies the charges. He was also a victim of an assault on April 16th, sprayed with liquid containing toluene. Police suspect the fraud occurred before the assault and are investigating the connection and the missing money.
次はビジネス関連のニュースです。
Crude oil prices have fallen sharply. This follows an announcement by Iran on April 17th. Iran stated it would fully open the Strait of Hormuz to commercial vessels. This opening is during a ceasefire with the United States and Israel. The news led to a significant drop in crude oil prices.
Japan and Australia signed a contract to jointly develop a new Australian Navy ship. It will be based on Japan's latest FFM destroyer model. Defense Ministers Koizumi and Marlis confirmed the agreement. The ship will initially be built in Japan, effectively an export. This move aims to deepen security cooperation between the two countries.
American Airlines denied interest in merging with United Airlines. They stated such a merger would harm competition and consumers, conflicting with the Trump administration's antitrust stance. This follows a Reuters report that United's CEO discussed a potential merger with President Trump in February. United Airlines declined to comment.
The U.S. Treasury Department announced on April 17th it will again allow purchases of Russian crude oil. Sanctions are eased until May 16th. This aims to secure supply and lower prices, which soared due to the Strait of Hormuz situation. This reverses a previous statement by the Treasury Secretary not to extend the relief.
Japan's ruling parties, the LDP and Ishin, plan to accelerate discussions on constitutional amendments, including draft articles. This follows Prime Minister Takaichi's wishes. They also propose intensive debate on emergency provisions in the House of Representatives Commission on the Constitution. Starting next week, coordination with opposition parties is now sought.
A third-party committee released its final report on accounting fraud at NIDEC. The report states that fraudulent accounting inflated NIDEC's operating profit by 166.4 billion yen and net profit by 160.7 billion yen through June 2025. NIDEC also anticipates an additional 250 billion yen in impairment losses.
G7 finance ministers met on April 17th to discuss critical minerals. They agreed to strengthen supply chains and reduce reliance on China. Producing countries also attended, with financial support from advanced nations being a key topic. Japan, as co-chair, highlighted its experience with China weaponizing these critical minerals.
Japan has temporarily suspended accepting foreign workers under the Specified Skilled Worker Visa No. 1 for the food service industry. This decision has caused anxiety among businesses. Many companies in the food service sector rely heavily on foreign labor to fill staffing needs. Concerns are rising about the impact on operations.
Meta Platforms is expected to conduct its first major round of layoffs on May 20. This could affect around 8,000 employees, approximately 10% of its global workforce, according to sources. The company plans additional cuts later this year. These decisions are being adjusted based on advancements in artificial intelligence technology.
Japan's Economy, Trade, and Industry Minister Akazawa announced a subsidy of up to 60 billion yen. This funding will support a Sony Group affiliate's plan to mass-produce cutting-edge image sensors. These advanced sensors are expected to be crucial for future applications like autonomous driving and AI robots, boosting domestic technology.
では、スポーツニュースをお伝えします。
White Sox player Munetaka Murakami hit his sixth Grand Slam home run on April 17th against the Athletics. It was his first three-hit game in MLB, bringing his batting average back to 2223. The Grand Slam came in the seventh inning, giving his team a 4-run lead, a truly impressive performance.
Masataka Yoshida of the Red Sox achieved his first dramatic walk-off hit in MLB on April 17th against the Tigers. Although not starting, he entered as a pinch hitter in the 10th inning with runners on first and third. His clutch hit secured a victory for his team.
The Dodgers secured their fourth consecutive win on April 17th, beating the Rockies 7-1. Shohei Ohtani, batting first, recorded 2 hits and 1 run. He hit a double in the first inning, ending a 14-at-bat hitless streak. Ohtani also extended his impressive on-base streak to 49 consecutive games.
Japanese figure skating pair Rikuryu Rikumiura and Ryuichi Kihara announced their retirement on April 17th. They made history by winning Japan's first Olympic gold medal in pair skating at the Milan Cortina Olympics. Formed in 2019, they also won 2 world championships. The pair stated they are full of accomplishment and have no regrets.
The Summer Koshien High School Baseball Tournament, opening August 5th, will continue its 2-part system to avoid peak heat. For days with 4 games, one will be at 8 a.m., then after a spectator change, 3 games from 1:30 p.m. Pairings up to the 3rd round will now be decided by online lottery.
During a Chunichi Dragons vs. Hanshin Tigers game at Koshien on April 18th, Chunichi's Yuki Fukunaga sustained an injury. While chasing a foul ball, he fell into the photographer's area. Unable to move, he was carried off the field on a stretcher and was immediately replaced, sparking concern.
Mets pitcher Kodai Senga recorded his third loss on April 17th, allowing 7 runs in less than 4 innings against the Cubs. This marks his second consecutive start with 7 runs allowed, pushing his ERA to 8.83. The Mets are now on a 9-game losing streak, their longest in 22 years.
FC Machida Zelvia achieved a remarkable feat, reaching the AFC Champions League Elite semifinals in their debut season. On April 17th, they defeated Saudi champions Al Ittihad 1-0 in the quarterfinals. Their long throw tactics and solid defense proved effective, securing a historic spot in the Final Four.
Nadeshiko Japan defender Hikaru Kitagawa was stretchered off during a friendly match against the U.S. women's national team on April 17th in Colorado. She fell after a challenge and was suspected of a concussion, requiring replacement in the 25th minute. Japan lost the match 0-3. Fans online expressed widespread concern for her.
The Orlando Magic and Phoenix Suns clinched NBA playoff spots on April 17th. The Magic became the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, while the Suns earned the 7th seed in the Western Conference. With these victories, all 8 teams from each conference are now decided. The NBA playoffs are set to begin on April 18th.
続いて、国際ニュースです。
Iran's foreign minister, Araghchi, announced on the 17th via social media that the Hormuz Strait will be fully open to all commercial vessels with certain conditions during the remaining ceasefire period. This development precedes the next face-to-face talks between the U.S. and Iran, scheduled for the 19th.
President Donald Trump stated on the 17th that regardless of any peace deal, the U.S. and Iran would jointly remove uranium from Iranian nuclear facilities. He said this uranium would be brought to the U.S. This announcement comes amid reports of attacks by Israel and the U.S. on Iran.
G7 finance ministers met in Washington on the 17th to discuss critical minerals. They agreed to strengthen supply chains and reduce dependence on China. Producing countries, including Australia, also joined the meeting. Financial support from developed nations for these efforts was a key topic of discussion.
The U.S. Treasury Department announced it has again lifted sanctions on Russian crude oil and petroleum products, allowing countries to trade them. This reverses the previous position of Treasury Secretary Bessent, who had stated just 2 days prior that sanctions would not be removed.
Japan and Australia signed a contract on the 18th for new frigates worth over 1 trillion yen. This is Japan's most significant defense equipment export since 2014. The deal, aimed at strengthening security cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, involves building 11 ships. Deliveries are expected to begin in 2029.
President Donald Trump announced on the 17th that his administration's investigation into UFO-related materials has found many interesting documents. He stated that the first batch of these records is expected to be released to the public soon, marking a significant step in transparency.
U.S. President Donald Trump posted on social media, stating that attacks on Hezbollah are forbidden. This unexpected declaration has reportedly caused confusion in Israel. The statement could potentially impact regional military strategies and existing tensions in the Middle East.
China's market regulator has fined 7 online delivery platforms a total of 83 billion yen. These platforms, including Meituan and Douyin, were penalized for allowing ghost restaurants to operate without proper business licenses. This is China's largest fine against platform operators since the 2015 food safety law revision.
For the FIFA World Cup starting in June, a round-trip train fare from central New York to the match venue in eastern New Jersey has been set at over 23,000 yen. This price is reportedly 11 times higher than the usual fare for the route.
A Japan self-defense force ship recently passed through the Taiwan Strait. Following this transit, China lodged a protest. Beijing asserts its territorial claims over the strait and often views such passages as a challenge to its sovereignty, leading to increased regional tensions.
続いて、文化・芸能ニュースをお伝えします。
Former Anger May member and singer Ayaka Wada announced her marriage in Taiwan on April 17th via Instagram. She married in her partner's home country. Wada stated her decision was based on her ideals, including support for separate surnames for married couples and same-sex marriage. This international marriage marks a new chapter for the former idol.
Takarazuka Music School welcomed 40 new students at its entrance ceremony on April 18th. These aspiring performers, chosen from a competitive 10.55 applicants per spot, will undergo 2 years of rigorous training in singing and dancing. Student Representative Hina Nishimei expressed their commitment to growth. They embark on their journey to become a Takarazian.
Tokyo MX-TV announced on April 17th the dismissal of its 77-year-old chairman Hiroshi Date, effective April 15th. He was removed due to power harassment, including abusive language made in a 2025 meeting. Date will also resign as a director on April 30th. An investigation confirmed the harassment allegations.
Measles infections are rising at the fastest rate since 2020. In response, the Japan Vaccine Society issued a statement on April 17th. They called for proactive measures and strongly recommended ensuring children receive their routine measles vaccinations. This urgent appeal aims to curb the spread of the disease and protect public health.
Shogakekon's third-party committee, investigating issues like the controversial hiring of a manga artist, launched a dedicated hotline on April 17th. The hotline seeks information from external parties regarding publicized cases and similar incidents that occurred since January 2016. It will be open until May 1st to gather facts.
Producer Dave Spector criticized media's overheated reporting on his X account by April 18th. His comments followed reports of a father arrested for allegedly abandoning his 11-year-old son's body. Spector stated that victim photos should not be shown indefinitely, emphasizing that there are many other important news to report.
Japanese rock band the Alfie achieved a remarkable milestone of 3,000 live performances on April 17th at their Tokyo concert. This is the first time a Japanese rock band has reached this number. The historic event also coincided with band member Toshihiko Takamizawa's 72nd birthday, making it a truly special occasion for the band.
Gundam movies are achieving successive box office hits, signifying a new era. Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway's Flash Part 2 has earned over 2.5 billion yen and continues its long run. This success reflects a trend where other Gundam films have recently grossed 3 to 5 billion yen. The franchise is clearly expanding its appeal.
13 works by horror manga master Junji Ito will be adapted into a live-action drama series titled Strange Junji Ito's Bizarre Tales You Can't Sleep at Night. The show will begin airing on TV Tokyo and other channels from July 3rd. The opening theme song Jigsaw will be performed by the popular group IVE.
Ticketpia has apologized for system errors, including incorrect lotteries, during the pre-sale of tickets for singer-songwriter Okazaki Taiku's tour. Okazaki Taiku's official website reported the issues on April 17th. Ticketpia expressed a deep apology for the inconvenience caused, stating the problems were due to system setting flaws.
今日のニュースは以上です。 最後までお付き合いいただき、ありがとうございました。おやすみなさい。